Hello, this is Russell Carlin. This is my week one review, and this week was pretty straightforward, just because it was meant to be a little shorter, just so you can catch up with things, and that was basically all I did this week was just catch up with things because I had everything in JQM already, or just jQuery from when we did all the JQM stuff, and I just basically was cleaning up this week because I think the thing I do every month is basically completely remake a new app. I mean, they're similar, and obviously use the code from the other ones, but I pretty much redo everything just for practice. And this month, I was just cleaning out the code in the first week, basically, and taking things out that I wasn't going to use and adding things that I was wanting to use. And so it's kind of sloppy right now, but I mean everything is in JQM or jQuery except for like there's some things like this, but I didn't change this just because I don't think I'm going to be using it. This was used to update a second selector based on what was selected in the first selector. So it was just like dynamically changed or whatever, which I don't think I'm going to be using that in this one. So like part of it is, but like the for loop could be I could use in each, which I have one down, yeah, right there. I could use those, but like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be actually using this, so I'll probably get rid of that and also this. And I wanted to add make these into one like function that's only it'll probably be about 4 lines or 5 lines or something like that, instead of having one for each. And those are just for the buttons so that you can click the whole area. And other than that, the main thing I worked on was this here, which kind of took me a while to understand because I didn't have this in my previous one from last month or month before, I guess. And it's the read for the JSON data, and I wanted to make sure that I got that done this week so that I can actually read the JSON data, which I kind of made it shorter from what it was because it was massive, and I just kind of refactored it to be used for this because we'll be using the database anyway. So, but the only thing I didn't get done with that is making it update so that it was styled for the list views, which I had the refresh here, which I thought, because I didn't, last night when I was going to bed, I kind of thought of the refresh. I was like, oh yeah, I have to refresh it. Well, when I woke up this morning and I tried it, I was fiddling with it for about an hour or so, and I still can't get it to update and make it all pretty and stuff. So I'm gonna have to figure that out here the next week or so. And then another thing I'm going to be doing is updating all these images and the CTA and the logo because it's a different app now. It's not the Guide Hacks one. As for skills that I needed from previous classes, the big one is just debugging, pretty much, and just using Firebug to find errors and stuff because I had many issues with the same things. Just because I always thought that was pretty much always going to be there, like the little, missing the commas. The one that I had was I missed a comma in my filler. I had this here like that, and it wasn't it didn't have the comma, and it wasn't, so it was just freaking out, and I didn't understand why it was not loading it. And as it doesn't really give you an error, it doesn't do anything. It just kind of sits there, and I was just like, why is it not doing anything at all? And it took me about 15 minutes or so to realize, because it wasn't doing anything. So I was like, okay, it's apparently what I had figured out was I had made alerts in the in this here function here, and I figured it out that I wasn't even getting the data, the JSON data, because after I put one an alert before it and it was popping up, and then I put one after it and it wasn't popping up. So I was like, okay, something's wrong here. And then I realized, oh, I don't have a comma there. And for the last question, things just like related to code that I like to do, and I find myself doing often, is making making code work better and making it shorter. Like I said before, I wanted to make these 4 functions into one because they're very similar and do extremely similar things. They're basically just exactly the same. Aside from coding, another thing in life that I always try to optimize is my gameplay, because I play a lot of games very competitively. And the one that I play the most is League of Legends. Well, I'm always trying to improve my just mechanics and judgment and matchups in the game so that I can become a better player. And I mean, if you don't know the game, you might not know what all that stuff is, like last hitting and farming and all that good stuff. But basically, it's just general skills that will help you improve in the game greatly. And they're easy to pick up and learn, but they're really hard to master. Alright, that is all for this review, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching.